Living alone in your golden years is more than just a phase, it's an opportunity to rediscover yourself. Embrace newfound freedom. And create a life that reflects your truest self. It's a time for peaceful reflection, personal growth, and exploring passions that may have been set aside for years. Whether it's crafting a home that feels uniquely yours, building deeper connections with loved ones, or simply savoring the quiet moments, this chapter can be one of the most fulfilling yet. Join us as we explore how living solo can transform your life into a journey of joy, purpose, and independence. Living alone offers a profound opportunity to reconnect with yourself, a chance to rediscover the person you are beneath the noise of daily life. For years, we often shape our days around the needs of others. Whether it's family, work, or social obligations. But when you live alone, the quiet moments become fertile ground for self-reflection and exploration. Take the story of Helen, a 68-year-old retiree who found herself at a crossroads after her children moved out. At first, she described the silence of her empty home as deafening. Yet, slowly, she began to find comfort in it. Helen rediscovered her love for journaling, a habit she hadn't practiced since her youth. She started each morning jotting down her thoughts, dreams, and even small joys, like the sound of birds outside her window. Over time, this simple routine helped her reconnect with her passions and priorities. For many, this reconnection isn't just about finding old hobbies but uncovering new dimensions of who they are. It's a journey of self-discovery where you're free to embrace your individuality without compromise. Whether it's gardening, painting, or simply taking time to enjoy a quiet cup of tea, living alone allows you to prioritize what truly makes you happy. In these quiet, reflective moments, you begin to understand that solitude isn't loneliness, it's an opportunity to nurture your inner self and build a life that resonates with your true essence. Living alone presents a unique opportunity to craft daily routines and rituals that truly reflect your own rhythm and needs, without the constraints of accommodating other schedules. You gain the freedom to create a structure that prioritizes your personal preferences and well-being. For instance, David, a retired architect in his early 70s, shared how living alone transformed his mornings. For decades, his life had revolved around early alarms and rushing out the door for work. Now, his mornings begin with a leisurely cup of coffee on his porch, where he watches the sunrise and listens to the world slowly come to life. It's a ritual that sets a peaceful tone for his day, giving him clarity and focus. Many others have embraced similar rituals. Whether it's dedicating time to yoga, meditation, or even simple moments of reflection. Emily, a 65-year-old widow, discovered the joy of evening rituals. She lights a candle, pours herself a cup of herbal tea, and reads a novel before bed, a practice that she says soothes her mind and creates a sense of comfort in solitude. These routines become anchors, helping to instill a sense of purpose and consistency in daily life. Living alone allows you to design a life that caters to your unique pace, turning once mundane tasks into moments of joy and mindfulness. Whether it's creating a morning routine or a nightly ritual, these practices give structure to your days and bring a sense of peace, making life feel fuller and more intentional. Living alone encourages a deep sense of self-reliance, empowering you to take charge of every aspect of your life. While initially daunting, this independence can become a source of pride and confidence as you learn to navigate challenges on your own. Take Arthur, for example, a retired teacher in his late 60s. Arthur found himself living alone for the first time after his wife passed away. Everyday tasks that his wife once handled, such as cooking and managing the household, suddenly fell on his shoulders. At first, he felt overwhelmed, unsure of where to begin. But instead of retreating into frustration, Arthur embraced the challenge. He started watching cooking tutorials online and experimenting in the kitchen. His first dish, a simple spaghetti bolognese, may not have been gourmet, but the sense of accomplishment it brought was priceless. Over time, Arthur grew confident in his culinary abilities, turning cooking into a hobby he now loves. Similarly, Olivia, a 70-year-old widow, discovered her own resourcefulness when she moved into a smaller home. With no one else to rely on, she learned to handle minor repairs, from fixing a leaky faucet to assembling furniture. What once felt intimidating became a source of empowerment. Olivia proudly shared that each small victory made her feel more capable than ever before. Living alone often reveals strengths you didn't know you had. It's about learning, growing, and realizing just how capable you are. With each challenge you overcome, you build a foundation of self-reliance and confidence that transforms solitude into a deeply rewarding experience. Rediscovering old hobbies or diving into new interests is one of the most rewarding aspects of living alone. Without the distractions or obligations of sharing your time with others, you have the freedom to explore activities that genuinely bring you joy. Take Carol, for instance. At 72, she found herself living alone after retirement and began to feel the void of endless days without purpose. One afternoon, while sorting through old boxes, she stumbled upon her dusty set of paintbrushes from her younger years. That small moment sparked something within her. Encouraged by nostalgia, she decided to give painting another try. Starting with a small canvas and basic watercolors, Carol rekindled her passion. Over time, she transformed a corner of her living room into a cozy art studio, filling it with canvases, brushes, and vibrant paint. Today, her walls are adorned with her creations, each stroke reflecting the peace she's found in this newfound chapter. Similarly, George, a widower in his 70s, discovered a love for birdwatching. After years of living a fast-paced life, the quiet moments alone gave him the chance to observe the world around him. Sitting on his porch with a pair of binoculars, George began cataloging the birds visiting his garden. His hobby quickly became a source of joy and mindfulness, helping him connect with nature in a way he never had before. Living alone creates the perfect opportunity to embrace hobbies that feed your soul. Whether it's rediscovering forgotten passions or exploring new ones, these activities bring purpose, creativity, and fulfillment to your life. Building stronger connections on your own terms is a powerful and often unexpected benefit of living alone. Freed from the noise and distractions of daily life with others, you can prioritize meaningful relationships that truly enrich your life. Living alone doesn't mean isolation, it creates an opportunity to connect with others in ways that feel intentional and fulfilling. Take Doris, for example. In her late 60s, she found that living alone gave her the time and space to nurture deeper relationships with her children and friends. Without the chaos of a shared household, Doris began scheduling regular coffee dates and phone calls with her daughter. She shared how these moments were more heartfelt and uninterrupted, strengthening their bond in ways she hadn't experienced before. Similarly, James, a retired teacher in his 70s, had always been more introverted, often hesitant to form new friendships. But living alone helped him realize the importance of maintaining social connections. He joined a local senior center and began hosting weekly game nights with a small group of close friends. James described how these evenings brought laughter and camaraderie into his life, making him feel more connected than ever. Living alone allows you to choose how and with whom you spend your time, making each interaction more intentional. It fosters a sense of community and reminds you that meaningful relationships don't require constant presence, they thrive on quality, understanding, and mutual joy. By nurturing these connections, you can create a circle of support and happiness that enriches your solo journey. Facing loneliness and finding comfort in solitude is a transformative journey that many experience when living alone in their golden years. While the silence of an empty home can initially feel overwhelming, many find that solitude offers a unique opportunity for peace, reflection, and personal growth. The distinction between loneliness and solitude becomes clearer over time, with the latter becoming a source of strength and tranquility. Take Anna, for instance, a widow in her late 70s. After her husband's passing, she described the silence in her home as almost unbearable. However, over time, Anna began to find beauty in quiet moments. She developed a routine of sitting by her window every evening with a cup of tea, watching the sun dip below the horizon. What began as a simple act of observation turned into a form of meditation, helping her embrace the stillness. Anna explained that these moments became a time for reflection, gratitude, and even healing, allowing her to connect with her emotions without distraction. For others, finding comfort in solitude involves taking small steps to combat loneliness. George, a retired veteran, started volunteering at a local library to engage with his community. While he valued his alone time, these social interactions gave him balance, ensuring he didn't feel isolated. He shared how the combination of solitude and occasional connection created harmony in his life. Living alone doesn't mean living in loneliness. By embracing solitude and finding peace within, older adults can transform their quiet moments into periods of self-discovery and fulfillment. Creating a space that reflects your personality is one of the most fulfilling aspects of living alone in your later years. Your home becomes a blank canvas where you can design every corner to match your tastes, preferences, and passions, without the need to compromise with others. You have the freedom to create a space that truly feels like you. Paul, a 65-year-old retiree, found this to be one of the most rewarding parts of his journey after his divorce. Moving into a small, cozy apartment, he discovered a newfound joy in decorating. Paul filled his space with vintage movie posters, a lifelong passion he'd never had the chance to fully express. He also lined his bookshelves with old classics, creating a living room that felt like a reflection of his personality. Every detail, from the color of the curtains to the type of coffee table, was chosen with intention. For the first time, Paul said, "I feel like my home is entirely mine." Similarly, Evelyn, a retired nurse, used her space as an expression of joy and healing. After years of living in a home dominated by neutral tones preferred by her late husband, Evelyn decided to bring her love of bright colors to life. She painted her walls in cheerful yellows and teals and adorned her space with vibrant artwork. Each room became a celebration of her individuality, lifting her spirits every time she walked in. When you live alone, your home can become more than just a place to live, it's a sanctuary that reflects who you are. Whether it's through bold colors, cherished keepsakes, or creative layouts, designing a space that resonates with your soul can bring immense satisfaction and joy. Practicing mindfulness and gratitude becomes a natural part of life when you're living alone. The quieter pace of life offers countless opportunities to savor the present moment. Reflect on the beauty around you. And appreciate the small joys that often go unnoticed in busier settings. For many, this newfound mindfulness creates a sense of peace and fulfillment that enriches daily life in profound ways. Take Helen, a 78-year-old widow, as an example. After moving into a small cottage by herself, Helen found that simple tasks became meditative rituals. Watering her plants in the morning became more than just a chore, it was her way of connecting with nature and setting a positive tone for the day. She also began taking the time to truly savor her meals, appreciating each bite instead of rushing through dinner as she used to when her home was bustling with activity. Helen shared that this mindfulness helped her feel more grounded and present, even during moments of solitude. David, a retired teacher, also embraced this practice by starting a gratitude journal. Each evening, he writes down 3 things he's thankful for, ranging from the chirping of birds outside his window to a heartfelt conversation with a neighbor. This simple habit shifted his perspective, allowing him to focus on the positives in his life rather than dwelling on loneliness or challenges. Living alone offers the perfect backdrop for practicing mindfulness and gratitude. Whether it's savoring a quiet moment with a cup of tea or appreciating the beauty of a sunset, these small acts can transform solitude into a deeply enriching experience. By tuning into the present and cultivating gratitude, you create a sense of joy and connection within yourself that enhances every day. Taking charge of health and well-being is one of the most transformative aspects of living alone, with no one else to rely on. Older adults often discover a deeper sense of responsibility and commitment to their physical and mental health. This proactive approach can lead to significant improvements in quality of life, turning solitude into an opportunity for self-care and empowerment. George, a 69-year-old retiree, shared how living alone pushed him to prioritize his health like never before. Without a spouse to remind him to eat balanced meals or stay active, George realized he needed to take full control. He began with small steps, daily morning walks around the block, which gradually extended to joining a local walking group. Over time, he not only improved his physical fitness but also formed new friendships that enriched his social life. Living alone gave me the motivation to take care of myself. And I've never felt better, he reflected. Similarly, Monica, in her early 70s, found living alone to be the perfect opportunity to focus on her emotional well-being. After years of prioritizing others, she finally took the time to address her mental health by seeing a therapist and practicing meditation. These steps helped her reconnect with herself, boosting her mood and overall outlook on life. Living alone encourages individuals to take ownership of their health in ways they might not have considered before. By embracing small, consistent habits and prioritizing self-care, it's possible to transform solitude into a chapter of vibrant, holistic well-being. This chapter becomes not just about independence but also about thriving in body and mind. Embracing creativity in cooking and meals is one of the unexpected joys of living alone, transforming what might seem like a mundane task into a delightful and personal ritual, without the need to cater to someone else's preferences or schedules. Cooking becomes an outlet for creativity, experimentation, and even self-expression. Susan, a woman in her mid-60s, shared how she rediscovered her love for cooking after moving into her own apartment. Previously, meals had always been about practicality, tailored to her family's tastes. But living alone gave her the freedom to experiment with cuisines and ingredients she had always been curious about. From trying her hand at Indian curries to mastering French soufflés, she found immense satisfaction in crafting meals that brought her joy. Cooking became more than just nourishment, it became an adventure. Susan remarked. For others, like Frank, a 72-year-old widower, cooking took on a simpler, more structured form. After years of large family dinners, he chose to create a weekly menu filled with easy-to-make, nutritious dishes. This routine gave him peace of mind, knowing he was eating well without the hassle of planning elaborate meals every day. It's comforting to know exactly what I'm having each day, Frank shared. And it's one less thing to worry about. Cooking for oneself is more than just about food, it's about reclaiming time, autonomy, and joy. Whether you're exploring exotic recipes or perfecting a simple favorite, the kitchen becomes a space of creativity and self-care. In every bite, there's a reminder that living alone is a chance to savor life's flavors in your own way. Living alone in your later years is more than just a lifestyle, it's an opportunity to embrace freedom, self-discovery, and personal growth. It's a time to reconnect with passions, establish meaningful routines, and create a home that truly reflects who you are. The challenges of solitude are real, but they also offer moments of profound reflection, allowing you to savor life's simple pleasures. As you navigate this chapter, remember that living alone doesn't mean being alone, it's about finding strength, joy, and peace within yourself. What steps can you take today to turn your space into a sanctuary or rekindle a passion you've left behind? Share your journey, as your story could inspire others embarking on the same path. Embrace this time. Cherish your independence, and celebrate the unique beauty of crafting a life that's entirely your own. You've earned it, and the best is yet to come.